39-year-old Ryan Reeves pleaded guilty last year.
Mac Miller's tragic passing left a huge hole in the rap industry that no one has been able to fill. As much as he was open about his constant drug usage,
then you're like, well, I could just be high.
Miller also went public when he decided to tone it down.
I'm not right now, I'm chilling.
So when his cause of death was ruled as an overdose, it left the world with questions. Thankfully, some of these questions have been answered, as the dealers who sold Mac Miller the drugs that caused his death are set to face justice. Keep watching till the end of this video to see the details of Mac Miller's drug dealer sentencing. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Interact with us, subscribe, and hit the notification button to be notified when we upload more content. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Thanks. Almost 4 years after the death of one of the most incredible rappers in the rap industry, Mac Miller, justice will finally be served. Quite recently, one of the men convicted in Mac Miller's 2018 death has been sentenced to nearly 11 years in prison for supplying Miller with the fentanyl-laced pills that led to his overdose. According to reports, 39-year-old Ryan Michael Reeves was sentenced to 10 years and 11 months by U.S. District Judge Otis D. Wright II. Reeves told the court that he didn't know the pills caused Miller's death until he was arrested a year later. However, he wasn't the only one involved in getting the drugs to Mac Miller. Reeves is one of 3 men charged with Miller's overdose death, and at the time of his arrest in 2019, Reeves was also seen with 3 guns in his possession. He also had ammo, digital scales covered in heroin, methamphetamine residue, blank prescription pads, and baggies all in his possession. In court, Reeves said his perspective and his heart had changed. "This is not just a regular drug case," he said. "Somebody died, and the family is never going to get their son back. My family would be wrecked if it was me. They'd never be all right, never truly get over it. I think about that all the time. I know that whatever happens today, I'm the lucky one because my family is here and I'm here and I'll be with them again. I feel terrible. This is not who I am." According to court documents, the prosecutors sought a sentence of around 12.5 years in prison. They said he sold oxycodone pills called Blues, despite discussing how dangerous and deadly fake pills were. He is a heroin and opioid addict who dealt drugs to support his addiction. Reeves was acting at the direction of another man, Stephen Andrew Walter, when he delivered the pills to Cameron James Pettit, who is alleged to have then sold them to Miller, prosecutors have said. Reeves and Walter have pleaded guilty. Pettit has pleaded not guilty. According to court records, Walter pleaded guilty in November and has not been sentenced. Both sides agreed to a sentence of 17 years in a plea agreement, which must be approved by a judge, officials have said. After Mac Miller passed in 2018, it became obvious in certain things that he did and said that Mac might have in fact predicted his own death. On July 12, 2018, almost 3 months before his death, Mac Miller released the video for the song Self-Care. The video was released as the second promotional single of Swimming, Miller's 5th record production. Although it was well received by his fans who loved the video, and so far it has had over 300 million views, in reality the video made much more sense after his death. What was a fun and entertaining video became somewhat disturbing after it was interpreted as a prediction of his death. The video, directed by Christian Weber, showed Mac Miller inside what appears to be a coffin while he smokes and tries everything to get out of that place. He also carved writing on the box's lid with his knife, "Memento Mori," a Latin phrase that means "remember that you will die." Although in reality, the meaning of this symbolism refers to a criticism from Mac Miller about how the media murdered his character and his will to survive in the face of any difficulty. It is quite difficult not to connect all these signs in Self-Care with his death. The Self-Care video wasn't the only premonition Mac Miller had about his death. Miller apparently predicted his tragic death 2 years before it happened, while worried friends begged him to stop overdoing his heavy drug use. A clip from a 2016 interview he did with The Fader magazine resurfaced shortly after his death. In the clip, Miller was seen mixing a purple drink that was believed to be the codeine-based Scissorp while talking about the various drugs he was using at the time.
This is perfect.
Admitting he could never say no to any offered substance, Mac said,
I was like, you want to try this? I'm like, yeah, sure.
He also revealed that he had taken just about any drug there was or anything that would keep him from being sober.
I hate being sober. I wanted a drug to do.
Mac Miller also shared in the interview that weed could no longer give him the thrills that he needed. The same interview also contained an extract in which Mac seemed to predict what would happen to him just 2 years down the line.
I'd rather be the corny white rapper than the drugged out mess who can't even get out of his house.
Overdosing is just not cool. There's no legendary romance. You don't go down in history because you overdose.
You just die.
Mac Miller had a positive life before his death as seen in the media. Despite his relapse, he was hopeful for the future and what it held for him. Giving some details about the last hours of his life, his personal assistant and his mom had a thing or two to say. According to the coroner's report, Mac Miller employed a personal assistant who was tasked with coming to his home and waking him at 11:30 a.m. each day. His assistant, Sam Motavassel, revealed that Mac was doing pretty great before his death, but he relapsed and had a bad binge 3 days before he died. According to Sam, he had been with Miller at 10:30 p.m. the night before and came to wake him at 11:35 a.m. on September 7th, the day he was found dead. Apparently, Sam made the call. He was unresponsive at the time Sam walked in, so he had to call 911 and perform CPR before paramedics arrived. While speaking with investigators, Mac Miller's mom, Karen Myers, said that he had no apparent health issues. He had been doing just fine and he was positive about his upcoming projects. Miller's mom last spoke to him the night before his death. He seemed very excited about a new album and upcoming tour, the coroner wrote, summing up what Miller's mom observed of her late son. My life went dark the moment Malcolm left his world, Karen Myers said. Malcolm was my person more than a son. We had a bond and kinship that was deep and special and irreplaceable. We spoke nearly every day about everything, his life, plans, music, dreams. Myers added that Mac would never knowingly take a pill with fentanyl ever, and that he was excited for the future. What do you think of Mac Miller's absence in the rap industry today? Do you think any rapper will take after Mac Miller's rap style? Join the conversation and let us know in the comments section below. That is the end of today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment down below. Thanks.